Hello and welcome to Zeitgeist Banana, the podcast all about the English language, coming to you from Paris. And today I'm joined by James. Now, James is my colleague here in Paris. He's an English teacher. I'm an English teacher. So, James, I'll just say to you, Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, Gideon. Your French is improving by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, I do my best. So who are you, James, exactly?
Well, as you say, I'm an English teacher in Paris. I've been teaching in Paris for almost 10 years and in France for 12 years.
Do you know anything about Proverbs?
I think I know in a kind of dormant way that's to say, at the back of my mind or in the deep recesses of my brain lies a group of proverbs which from time to time surface. I think proverbs contain a kind of popular wisdom that is often drawn from agriculture or is often drawn from the countryside. So it's a wisdom that our great grandparents might be more familiar with than us, for example.
Well, I can't ask them. But
okay.
I'm going to tell you my proverb, and we can discuss it, and then I'm going to come to you. It's like a game of ping pong. Okay. Okay. So my proverb, I've cheated. You know, these are English proverbs. Okay. I've kind of cheated, and I've got one or two which have equivalents in foreign languages, and you have to tell me what it means and the equivalent proverb in English. Okay, that's my challenge for you. You might have a different challenge for me.
Oh, so you're going to say it in the original language?
In English. Yeah.
Okay.
The first one's Russian. I don't speak Russian.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Shall I do it with a Russian accent?
Why not?
If it rains, there will be mushrooms.
Okay.
There will be mushrooms. What does it mean?
Well, it sounds very positive. And it might even be the same as every cloud has a silver lining.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
It might well be.
I think so. Which means what? Would you like to explain to the listener? What does every cloud has a silver lining? What does that mean?
Well, it means that every negative situation contains the seeds of something positive. Now, of course, this is not always true, but we say this to encourage people or to look on the bright side, we might say. So even though things are going pretty badly at the moment, in the current situation, there are the seeds of something positive, and we don't know what that is.
Very well defined, such as the lockdown and the COVID situation, which is catastrophic. But there are some positives from lockdown.
Absolutely, yeah.
So many people have an example of that, but
many people they feel a different person having gone through the lockdown, and so they have transformed themselves in ways that they did not imagine.
Yes, indeed. And you could also say, like, for the environment, for individuals and for the environment as well, there's less pollution than there was. Fewer flights going around the world and less pollution in general. So that would be the silver lining in the cloud, or the mushrooms, whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. So mushrooms for Russians, I'm going to guess that this is a very positive thing.
I think what I like is about the Russian one. You could also use it literally. You could, it's raining. You can literally go out and get mushrooms.
Yeah, and from the supermarket, you mean?
Yeah, and I'm told, I checked this with a Russian person, Anna. Actually, I checked with Anna, and she says there's no such thing as good weather and bad weather. There's only weather, and whatever the weather, you can always find something positive. Don't complain about the rain because something's good. You can pick mushrooms. You can make your garden green.
It never rains, but it pours.
Over to you. Your first proverb.
Okay, so my first one is, he who makes no mistakes makes nothing. or we might say she who makes no mistakes makes nothing. And this is very appropriate in a teaching environment, because it's very important to make mistakes, because otherwise you won't learn. And so nobody opens their mouths and speaks perfect English. So for a pedagogical reason, this is a great proverb.
Yeah, I agree. You learn by your mistakes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if first you don't succeed, try again. So I think
if at first you don't succeed, give up.
First you don't succeed, don't be obsessive. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And does this have any significance for you? He or she who makes no mistakes makes nothing?
Absolutely. I think that's true. And I think we just, in general, we give up too easily. We're easily discouraged. But yeah, mistakes, it's part of the learning process.
Absolutely.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your second proverb?
The second one, this is a Chinese proverb which has an English equivalent. I think it's going to be quite easy for you. The hasty man eats his soup with a fork.
Well, it's relatively easy. So this is not make haste, not speed, is it? Or
more haste, less speed.
That's it. Yeah, more haste, less speed.
That's right.
Apart from the Chinese element, why have you chosen this particular proverb?
Well, it's just a simple piece of advice. I think everyone's been in the situation when you try to do something in a hurry, you're late for an important appointment, you rush out the house, and then you realize you've forgotten to put on your trousers or something. So yeah, take it easy, slow down, think about it, then go ahead. James, tell us your second proverb.
Okay, so my second proverb is many a slip twixt cup and lip. Many a slip twixt cup and lip. Now this word twixt, it's an old form of between. So the proverb is, there is many a mistake between your cup and your lip. That is to say, as you are on the point of drinking your tea or your coffee, this is a moment when you are prone, when you are susceptible to making a mistake. Yeah. And the proverb points to the fact that you should take the greatest care at the moment that you are finishing something, because typically it's at that moment that things can go wrong.
From personal experience?
To give you an example, I play chess, and chess, like rugby, and there are going to be many people listening to the podcast wondering, how can chess be related to rugby? But the point is that as you are on the point of winning the game, as you are in the final few minutes of the game or the final few moves of a game of chess, this is the moment when you can make a mistake and ruin everything. So you have to take the greatest care on the point of finishing a project.
Good advice. Listeners, if you're out there.
Don't play rugby.
Yeah, yes. My turn?
Yep. Over to you.
So my next proverb is, beware of any venture that requires new clothes. And that, it is a proverb, but it's also a saying, because it was said by Henry David Thoreau. Do you know it, James?
Of course, yes. Yeah. I'm a Thoreau fan. And does this have particular meaning for you? Does this have deep meaning for you?
It just goes back to the time that I worked in offices and getting jobs and having to wear a suit and a tie and hating it so much, and then being invited to various functions and putting on clothes which I felt uncomfortable with. And yeah, so it just resonates with me.
That's right. And the clothes you wear, it's a form of evaluation, isn't it?
Yeah.
People look at what you're wearing and they make a snap judgment about you.
Exactly. There's an element of judgment and danger. You think you're entering with clothes you don't feel comfortable with.
That's right. And if your suit or tie is too expensive, people can spot this in a moment. So
I've never had that problem. how you get the cheapest suits?
Well, yeah, okay. So there's a lot of social marking related to clothes.
Exactly. Yes. And think of all the situations where you need new clothes: a wedding, a funeral, not your own, but
Your birth.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's danger there.
I have precisely one suit, and I bought it in England maybe 30 years ago, and I bought it for, I think it was £9.50. And it was reduced in a sale. I think it was reduced 75% and then 50% of that and then 20% of that, because nobody wanted to buy this suit. And
is it pink nylon?
It's not. It's kind of like a sort of pea green color. It's a very nice texture and it's pea green, but I still wear it. I mean, I only wear it on those occasions when I want to shock, but nevertheless, it's good for weddings and it's good for other formal situations. And it's with me now. I'm not wearing it, of course, but it's with me now in Paris, hanging up, waiting for the next important occasion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Beware. So, James, your next proverb.
Okay, so my next proverb is actions speak louder than words.
Okay. So what? I know that one. It's very famous.
Yep.
Tell the listeners what you mean by it.
Well, it means that what you see with your eyes is more important than what you think with your mind. So when you consider, or when you are evaluating somebody's behavior, when you're judging somebody, you can learn more from what they do than what they say.
Okay.
And this is very important because sometimes we are in a situation where we want to believe somebody, even though their behavior says that we should not.
Yes.
Have you ever been in this sort of situation, Gideon?
Yes, because words are easy, but indeed, judge on people's actions, what they do, not what they say. I think that's good advice.
Absolutely, yes. And so even though we may want to believe somebody, all the evidence in front of our eyes says that we should not. And it's very important to trust what you can see rather than what you might think.
A good piece of advice.
Thank you. And you have another one, don't you?
Yes, I do. And I am cheating. You know, I like to cheat. This is cheating a bit because this is another quote from a famous American writer, but it should be a proverb. It's not a proverb. It should be. It's very well known. And that is, see if you can guess who it is, by the way.
Okay.
A famous American humorist and writer. The first thing you should do in the morning is eat a live frog. Then you can go through the rest of the day knowing the worst is behind you.
Well, I don't know who it is, but it could it be Thurber?
No, older than that.
Older than that. I don't know if Mencken is before Thurber.
I'll tell you.
Oh, it's going to be Mark Twain, isn't it?
It is Mark. Very good. Yes, you got it.
Yeah.
Mark Twain. It's Mark Twain. I think it's true, actually, and I'm trying to apply this to my life because so often we wake up in the morning, we've got some onerous tasks to do, and you put it off. Oh God, I'll do it later. No, get those things over with first, and then the rest of the day is going to be so much easier. You agree?
So I think so, but I'm curious to know, when was the last time you ate a live frog?
Okay, I should explain that the fly frog is a metaphor
Okay,
for the difficult stuff that is
I understand.
annoying you and pressing you down, and you things that you don't want to tackle. Not well, you could actually eat a live frog, but we're in France, so they might well do that. But yeah.
Yeah, it sounds rather gross, this, doesn't it? I mean, even the
James,
sense.
don't take it all literally. Okay.
No. Let's move swiftly on.
Okay.
So my next one is, if you want something doing well, you should do it yourself. This is not a good proverb for people who work in teams or for people who work in big companies, where typically work is delegated, and often tasks and jobs are divided up between a number of people. And so no one person has the ability to follow a task from the beginning to the end. But nevertheless, if you take pride in your work, you should do the job yourself. And it is difficult to delegate work like this to other people, and to rely on other people to do the work to the same standard that you would do it.
But I agree with that. But there are contrary proverbs, such as "many hands make light work," which
That's right.
sort of says the opposite.
Well, you are right, of course. And I have no counter argument to that. But I might say that with "many hands make light work," there's a kind of physical notion to it. That is to say, if you're carrying something heavy, then it's better to share the burden with a number of people than try to do it yourself. Okay. But if you want something doing well, it can include many other things than physical things.
Good.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you mine. So I've already given you a Chinese proverb, a Russian proverb, an American proverb saying, and this one is Yiddish.
Okay.
From Hillel the Elder, and he said, "If I am not for me, who will be for me?"
Wow. And don't ask me to find an English equivalent to that, because I can't.
No, you just said you have to stand up for yourself.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you have to,
Yeah, it's much easier than I thought.
Be your best advocate.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to blow your own trumpet, to use the idiom,
okay, yeah.
To praise yourself in the right situations. Okay. Don't cower and hide. Say what you're good at. Tell people that you're capable. I think that's what it means, because no one else is going to do it for you. Okay.
Okay, so that's certainly wise words from Hillel the Elder, was it?
Yes, Hillel the Elder. Hillel the Younger was some other guy.
He didn't listen to his father, obviously.
No. Exactly. Okay, your next proverb?
Okay, so my next one is, we will cross that bridge when we come to it.
A perfect proverb for procrastinators, is it not?
Yes. Is it related to don't put off today what you can put off tomorrow?
Exactly. Is it? Yeah, maybe you can explain. You can explain a little bit.
Certainly, yes. So we will cross this. We will cross that bridge when we come to it. It means that on any undertaking, on any project, there are always problems to be encountered, and you can't deal with all the problems immediately. You have to deal with the problems one by one, and you have to cross those bridges as you encounter the problems. Mm-hmm. So the idea is that you should be very methodical in your dealings.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, because I think it's used as an excuse just not to do what you have to do. It's kind of the mañana mentality. Okay, we'll do it at some indefinite point in the future. We don't need to do it now. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Oh, okay. I always assumed a bridge was a problem, but maybe you're right. Maybe it's simply that it's
to kick the can down the road.
Yes, that's not one that I know.
To knock the ball into the long grass.
Okay. Okay.
We like putting off things to tomorrow.
So are you good at procrastination?
Yes. If I have a project which has to be completed by the 31st of March, about the 30th of March, 7 minutes to midnight, I'll probably start tackling it.
I understand
that.
I'm
not good at
I think there's a law, there's a business administration law about that. And from memory, I think it's Parkinson's Law.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and something to the effect that work expands to fill the time available to it.
Exactly, and I believe in that one.
Yeah.
But I think there are two types of people. If you can divide the world up into two types of people, there are the type of person that they have a project to complete, I don't know, in 6 months' time, and they start now and they do a little bit of work every day, and by the time the 6 months comes, then they've finished or more or less finished. And the other type of person is, we've got loads of time. Let's go to the pub and get a few beers, and we'll think about it later when it gets closer to the moment.
Yes, because you never know what might happen.
Exactly. It could be, especially this COVID
Absolutely,
world.
yes. If you adopted a very methodical approach and the lockdown came, you wouldn't be too happy about that.
Yes, one of the few cases where the mañana mentality wins out actually during COVID, because the people who didn't plan anything, people who did plan anything, got their fingers burnt.
Absolutely, yeah. What is your next proverb?
The next proverb, again, I'm cheating, but this one's Japanese. But I like it so much. And it is, the frog in the well does not know the ocean. Yeah. You only know what you know. There's so much we don't know, because we are frogs in the ocean. That's who we are.
Is there a kind of froggy theme running through your proverbs, do you think?
Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah, there is. It's the second one with a frog in it, isn't there? Yeah, there is.
Frogs
we should rename the podcast about frogs.
Well, I'm not sure that I understand this. That is to say, we are all at the center of our own world, and we don't have a lot of knowledge of other worlds. Is that what it is?
Exactly. We think we know everything, but face the facts. We're all pig ignorant in the end. There's so much we don't know.
Or frog ignorant, in fact.
Frog. we are frog ignorant. Okay. Your next proverb.
So my next one has a personal resonance for me, and it is, a fool and his money are soon parted.
I know this one very well.
A fool and his money are soon parted.
Okay. That's why you're broke.
That's right.
All the time.
And typically it means from time to time in my life.
I'm joking, James. Go ahead.
From time to time in my life, I realize the uselessness of spending money.
Oh, yeah?
And I try not to spend money, but the desire to spend money builds up. Mm-hmm. And after 2 or 3 months, or maybe 4 months, I don't want to say I go crazy, but I spend more money on a Saturday than I would have spent over the previous 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
So I think this is moderation in all things is important. This is a personal proverb for me, because I'm bad at money management.
Well, there's once again, I find a proverb which gives the opposite advice, and that would be, you can't take it with you.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You can't take it with you.
Yeah.
So it's just going to go sometime. So you might as well spend it.
Okay. Well, if anybody's listening who wants all my money, you know where to you know where to contact us.
Okay.
And Gideon, do you have a maybe a final proverb for you?
Yeah. Wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah, well, it's very true, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't escape yourself. You can
You
dye your
can't escape
hair.
yourself.
You can wear a mask in the streets. You can change your clothes. You wear a pea green suit. But at the end of the day, whatever you put on, whatever you're wearing or looking like, you can't escape. Wherever you go, you can't escape who you are. So
Yes,
deal with that. You are who you are. Wherever you go, there you are. It's interesting. So tell me your final proverb.
My final one is better the devil you know than the one you don't.
I know that one.
Better the devil you know than the devil you don't.
Yeah.
And in teaching terms, I teach a lot of people who work in human resources, and companies often advertise for a candidate, and they are obliged to have an external candidate and, of course, an internal candidate. And this proverb, better the devil you know, would say that the company will hire the internal candidate, because the internal candidate is the devil we know. We know how bad he is.
Yeah.
We know how good she is, and we play safe. That's what we do. We play safe.
If I may, I don't really like that proverb so much because I kind of disagree with you. It's an excuse not to take any risks. It's an excuse not to give anybody new a chance.
You are right, of course.
So, yeah, just stay with what you know. Not perfect, not that great, but
yeah, stay in your comfort
somebody
zone.
else could be much worse.
Yeah, stay in your comfort zone.
I think that works with politics as well. They vote for leaders that are not doing a very good job, but they're scared of the unknown.
Yeah, that's right. And so political parties, they spend a lot of time engineering this kind of consent, we might say.
Yeah.
And so elections are fought not on the progress that a party has made. They're typically fought on the image of the candidates, which is manufactured by the opposing parties.
That's all for today.
Okay.
James, thank you for taking part. I hope to speak to you soon. I'll remind the listeners that you can also watch our videos on Let Them Talk TV. So thank you, James.
My pleasure.
Now I've eaten my frog. I'm going to go out and pick some mushrooms.
It was a pleasure to act as your frog.
Okay, speak to you soon.
Okay, cheers. Bye.